So the next thing I want to share with you is that if I really further elaborate about what I do, I'm actually a brain applicator. I mean, even if I were to promote all about health management, I want to see how, from the perspective of brain, how can we appreciate it further. I also do re-innovation, whereby I actually did invent some of the products pertaining to health, especially like insole, for us to restore our body health. I've actually collaborated with some of the ML companies and so more than thousands of this insole to help to recuperate our posture. Okay, I'm also a business and life coach for learning and wellness. I'm also certified by the HRD Corp. I mean, like government, I'm certified to deliver some training. That's why I did a lot of topic training to like Singapore, Nanyang Sampao, Mars, Huawei, Intel, Western Digital, and so on and so forth. But there's another area that I'm really, really good at doing it right now. Is actually talk about green energy and environmental care, especially using bacteria. So that's why this is how I actually get acquainted to foreigners. I actually share a lot about how can we restore the Mother Earth using bacteria. And same goes to our health. So especially like using probiotics and prebiotics. Okay, I love education. I love to share. That's why whenever I share, I do it from the perspective of brain-based. But again, how do I indulge into this health management? Okay, this is actually simply because when I was at the age of 17, I started to drive, but at the same year, I had a severe accident that injured my cervical, my neck. My neck is tilted until today. But during that period of time, I've been consuming, okay, for the 7 to 10 years, I've been consuming every day about 16 tablets of painkiller, Panadol, painkiller. So you can imagine that how painful I was, or how severe I was in pain to be able to suppress this pain. But you see, imagine 7 to 10 years, I've been prescribed myself with this painkiller. Eventually, I have this health issue, especially my liver hardened. So unfortunately, one of my brothers, I have two brothers, one of my brothers, I encouraged him, despite I was in IT then, I encouraged him to go into health industry. So by coincidentally, I found a book that was left aside, so-called Reverse Aging. So when I read through this particular book that written by Sheng Wang, so I was able to really understand how can I restore my health. So from there onwards, okay, I started to venture into what I call natural health. So today, if people ask me what I do, I actually focusing on technology plus naturopath, called technopathy, meaning to say that we can actually help people to restore their health using the natural way, but unfortunately, due to the laziness of being, so therefore we actually integrate with some technology. So I will be able to share with you more as we go along. Okay, so this is actually how I started to recuperate it, and eventually I make a vouch as to like when I have my baby girl deliver, I ensure that she was delivered with natural as much as possible. I'm going to showcase to you some other cases as well. Now, having that said, I'm not the only one who falls sick because I don't understand about health management then. I don't sleep because I think sleeping was a waste of time. When I consume drinks, I actually go for the biggest cup, the big cup of this Coca-Cola. And during midnight, I actually go for a lot of supper, like roti canai or nasi lemak with a lot of chicken, with sotong and so forth. But eventually, these are the things that actually kill my health, deteriorated my health, and eventually I make a change. But when I go in deeper, right, I start realizing that why are people so sick nowadays? Because according to World Health Organization, more than 80% people on earth are considered sub-health. What does it mean by sub-health? Mean actually you're at the middle between being sick nor you're being healthy. That means you're at the borderline. So that's why there's something wrong about how we actually take care of our body or even our brain. So, and okay, furthermore, 60% of the human diseases, right, or illnesses are all caused by stress because of the modern lifestyle. And in addition to that, more than 60% of the people on earth do not really know how to breathe properly. The breathing method is very wrong. So if you really want to know how to breathe, then you better learn from yogis, people who learn yoga, learn qigong, learn tai chi, even line dance, okay? People who do dancing or even do choir, singing, they actually learn from breathing from the abdomen. Okay, 70% people on earth have drunk the wrong water. Well, of course, don't talk about water. Nowadays, kids love to drink something with taste, like this bubble tea, Coca-Cola, and so on and so forth. Okay, and in fact, we must understand that it is mandatory that we must drink a lot of water. Very unfortunate, I have seen many people don't like to drink water at all. Okay, 90%, more than 90% people on earth have this postural issue. Now, just give you some insights. Okay, if you do come across any children with learning disabled, labeled to be learning disabled, they have challenges in concentration. They always have health challenges. For example, like they cannot have, they easy for them to have constipation, they fall sick easily, immunity low. Go and find out if they are born naturally. They mean to say, I'm actually sharing with you is that I've been traveling since 2006 to the whole nationwide, inclusive of Singapore, because as I said, I actually invented the insole. I did a traveling to the whole nationwide to do awareness, encouraging people to take care of the posture. In addition, encouraging mommy, especially newborn mommy, newborn babies, right? The new mommy that wanted to deliver babies, make sure as much as you can go for natural birth. No cesarean, please. No cesarean at all. Or else, eventually there will be three things happening to the child. First one is actually he or she might suffering from flat-footed. I mean, most of the cesarean-born children are flat-footed. Second, more severe one becomes scoliosis, meaning that their posture are tilted here and there. Then the third one actually help deteriorated and also have challenges in focusing. That's why they have learning disabled. So this is all part my personal research. So I'm here to make a disclaimer as like these are all my personal research. As I traveling, I've been observing, and therefore I have this finding to share with you. Now, on top of that, not only most of the people are sick, okay, Malaysian have two ranking. One ranking in Asia. We are the fattest country in Asia, okay, and more than 30% people of Malaysian are overweight, and more than 18% are obese. By having that said, we also have this severity whereby majority of the what they call the people to a certain extent have a chances to get diabetic, type 2 diabetic. Why? Because we have the most dialysis center in the world, more than 600 dialysis center in the world. We rank #1. So this is actually a very sad news for a Malaysian without further understanding how to take care of our body health. Now, again, to give you a heads up, everybody who falls sick only caused by one issue. I mean, if we only have one illness, that's actually our cells start aging, or we have aging cells. That means any diseases is actually derived from a cellular aging. If you don't take care of the cell, then we start to have these challenges. Now, how do you tell if you do have an aging cell? This is where I want you to perform a self-check. Now, they're all written onto the slides. And if you feel every morning when you wake up and you feel very wide awake and very alert, very charged up, congratulations. Your body health is still okay. Your cells are still operating, function normally. But if you fatigue, you feel lethargic, you feel like you still want to sleep because you don't have enough energy, then please start taking care of yourself, start taking care of your body. Your brain fog, as to like you cannot concentrate. People talk to you, you cannot really pay attention to what have been, what they call converse, then there is actually a challenge about your attention span. You become head-hearted, okay? For example, like you get agitated very easily. You become obese or overweight, or even you have aching here and there. This is simply because we are all falling sick. So why are we sick? So I need you to understand this. Now, one good example, osteoarthritis, meaning it's actually like not only your bone are shallow or less, density become lesser, and you also have some form of misform, okay, misformation. So this is simply because if you understand, when you understand about health, you also have to understand about science. Okay, there are two primary things I need you to familiar with. Number one, we live on Earth, we work along with the gravity pull. Now, there's a Chinese saying, when you age, okay, when you age or you become older and older, your bigger challenge is always to deal with your feet, the strength of your feet, simply because your toxin accumulated at the feet. One good example that I would like to show to you is that, now, for example, osteoarthritis. When we are young, we all have a healthy joint. These joints are very round, it's actually very smooth. You do not have any problem with the friction whatsoever. But when your joints are being destroyed by free radical is basically like the toxin that too much accumulated in the body, not able to push in time, they start to attack all the ordinary or healthy cells. The healthy cells are being attacked by the free radical, meaning to say they are being attacked by the toxin. This toxin are accumulated too much, so much so that they actually will eventually worn out. It's like tear out your joint, your ligament, your cell, okay, or your cartilage and so forth, and make your whole entire feet become tilted. So this is called old-legged feet. As you can see here, right? Osteoarthritis are referring to the seniors. They're always suffering from the leg misformation. They call it old-legged, or some actually call X-legged. That means that they become like a cross-egg, like a cross. Okay, so this is what I need you to understand to be able to address it. Now, so again, the fundamental is because we have not been eating right, or we have not been drinking right, or we have taken too much food whereby we are not able to push out in time, or we are not able to push out with the same amount of a toxin out of our system. I call the body, the entire body, called a system. So therefore, it is important that you must understand what is free radical. So here, I will show you with a demonstration in a video explanation.
Free radicals can do a lot of damage to the body if not kept in check. They occur naturally when you breathe, as the body converts air into chemical energy. They also come from external sources such as pollution, X-rays, and cigarettes. The definition of a free radical is an atom with an unpaired electron. Electrons like to be in pairs, so when the free radical forms, it will steal electrons from other molecules to pair up with its own. This in turn destabilizes the other molecules, turning them into free radicals themselves, and creates a chain reaction. This domino effect can lead to cellular damage, including the breakage of the cell membrane, the altering of proteins, and destruction of DNA code. Cellular damage from free radicals is known as oxidative stress. Oxidative stress plays a role in the development of cancer, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's, amongst other diseases. It also plays a role in aging. In fact, there's a free radical theory of aging that states that we age because of free radical damage over time. Thankfully, there is a way to lessen the damage of free radicals: antioxidants. Antioxidants are molecules that are able to give an electron to free radicals without destabilizing themselves, thus stopping the chain reaction. Our body produces some antioxidants on its own, but not a sufficient amount. You can introduce more antioxidants to your body through your diet. As a rule of thumb, the more colorful the food, the better. Some examples of antioxidant fruits and veggies include blueberries, oranges, strawberries, carrots, spinach, and broccoli. Other antioxidant foods include green tea, dark chocolate, salmon, garlic, pecans, and sweet potato. Antioxidant herbs and spices include cilantro, turmeric, ginger, thyme, cumin, and cayenne pepper.
Okay, so as you see, antioxidant is a key, right? But of course, prior to antioxidant, the reason why we all fall sick, why we have aging cell, simply because we have this oxidative damage. Okay, we call it oxidative stress, causing by the free radical. So if people who cannot visualize because there's no visual or illustration, I use a very simple example: apple. When you cut the apple into the half, you see the flesh area is actually whitish in color. But eventually, if you will start realizing they become brownish, okay, and eventually they become damaged. These damages is called free radical, and the more severe one is called oxidative stress, okay, or oxidative damage. So same goes to the human body. When we are young, we have very elastic, fresh skin or vibrant skin. But eventually, when we do not take good care of it, or we are losing the ability to maintain it because of the attack by the free radical, we start to have sluggish, or we have a aging face. This is what happened by the free radical. Okay, next one, I'm going to show you this.
Balance, when we have too much oxidation and not enough of its counterpart, which is reduction, then we get into the situation where we start to see degeneration occur in cells, in the tissues, and ultimately in the body. We get degeneration of the body, we get aging, and we get chronic disease.
That have lost an electron. They are positively charged. They come from the breakdown of foods, from the breakdown of toxins, and they enter our bloodstream. These free radicals are potentially harmful to cells. They will attach themselves, for example, to the lining cell of an artery. And when they do, they will produce an injury. That injury will create a response in the body trying to heal it. Platelets will come from the blood and try to plug that injury. And in the process of making a clot, in the process of then bringing in scavenger cells to repair the damage,
we're not really treating or curing the disease, we're managing the disease.
Antioxidants have become very, very popular because they are electron donors. And when they meet a free radical, that free radical gets what it wants. It gets its electron.
Okay, so as you can hear, the antioxidant is actually an electron donor. But I would like to simplify it for your better understanding. It's like you have to supply yourself with heaps of all these, what they call bodyguards. Okay, you need to have a lot of bodyguards to be able to protect the cell, the organ from being attacked by the free radical. Because subsequently, if you don't take care of it, eventually all your cells will be dying because they have been attacked by the free radical. They will start aging. So eventually they all will become a oxidative stress. Now, where do they come from? Free radical comes from everywhere. It comes from everywhere. So I'll start from the 12 o'clock, like microwave and smartphone. Why do they actually cause free radical? Because of the electromagnetic field. Now, of course, we are really severely attacked by this free radical from EMF to cause free radical from the Wi-Fi, 4G. But eventually, can you imagine if there are 5G coming in? And they're talking about 10 times faster than the 4G, more powerful than the 4G. So they will cause a lot of free radical damage to our cell. Alcohol, smoking, air pollution, especially dioxin. If you want to familiar all these things, please go Google search. Air pollution, not just talk about the CO2 or monoxide dioxide. There's another one coming from the farming, especially from the livestock, actually called dioxin. Ultraviolet, UV light. These are all cost damaging to our body as well. That's why we encourage you, please don't expose your sun after 11 a.m., between 11 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. So stop exposing yourself to the UV light unless you're severely deficient in vitamin D, right? Fried stuff, grilled stuff, grilled food. People now love to go for grilled stuff, especially when you look at people who are obese, simply because they've been eating too much of fried food. So these are causing free radical. Then same goes to the metabolism. What do you mean by that? It's actually like you are over exert yourself with too much of stress, or you are too much of highly tension and so on and so forth. Like over exercise, inflammation, radiation. These are primarily the cause of free radical. Now again, if I were to turn this into normal diseases, what we call acidosis, is your body in acidosis? You might want to snapshot this for your keeping. So how do you know whether you are attacked by free radical? Because eventually free radical, when they're causing too much of this toxin inside the body, they will cause acidosis. Means that you have a lot of residue that have been combined to be able to protect your body still from surviving, but yet they have to keep inside your bloodstream. It can be kept inside other places like in the form of urine acid and so forth. I'll elaborate further as I go along, right? So example, if you wake up lethargic, you cannot sleep well, or probably you have suffering from insomnia. You always have lack of stamina, no energy, emotionally unstable, agitated easily, or you can be bitten by insect. I give one example just now earlier. I showed you the feet that was actually like get misformed. If you look at majority of the children, or even it doesn't have to be children, it can be adults, but primarily more focusing on the ladies. You start realizing that when you have a lot of mosquito bite and focusing at the feet, there's a challenge whereby your body are overly toxin. Meaning to say you have too much of free radical, too much toxin residing at the feet due to the pull by the gravity, right? Skin disease, high fever, high blood pressure, obese, stomach disease, loss of appetite. See, all these common people as this is all the illnesses that have been described by the common doctors. This is actually the sign whereby you're accumulating too much of toxin inside your body. But again, why is acidosis concern us? I need you to understand, because by intelligent, okay, very intelligently, our body have the wisdom or have the ability to maintain the blood to become weak alkaline. Every child or baby were born, they actually have a very healthy bloodstream. I mean, healthy pH level. And how do you measure them? Always remember, refer to the lower right, it's always measured at 7.365. If you want looking for the range will be 7.35 to 7.45. If your blood is able to measure at this level, at pH 7.35 to 7.45, then you're rest assured you're okay, you're healthy. But unfortunately, like I said earlier, World Health Organization indicated 80% of the people are considered subhealth. That means they are in the range of lesser than 7.35. To be exact, is 7.0 to 7.35. That means you're under the category, neither you're sick nor you're healthy. So you're not really having superpower. Again, these are all simply because of the free radical attack. Now, I'm sure you might have heard about Dr. Robert. Dr. Robert is actually a Nobel Prize winner in 1931. He have indicated, he studied about cancer. How come people have cancer cells? For one simple reason, your blood are extremely acidic. They mean your cancer has been measured and all your cell and your blood have been measured in the acid environment, meaning to say it is actually lower than 7. Of course, if you to be exact, it's actually at the range of 6.85 to 7. This is actually the sign whereby your cancer cell is actually in the acid environment. Okay. What I will do is actually, I'm going to show you with you a particular documentary. This is a venom, okay, a venom versus the human blood. Now, why do venom kill? Okay, I mean, when you unfortunately get a snake bite, there's a tendency you will get poisoned. But how come? So this is a very obvious demonstration to illustrate about acidosis, or our blood become clogged, okay, when you actually got bitten by the venom. But again, what's a venom? I'll elaborate further. Can you see that? Okay, the blood supposed to be in liquid form. It's liquefied. Then one drop of the venom just drop inside the blood, just stir for 1-2 rounds, it become clot. So I want you to understand when we mention about acidosis or your acidic blood, this is exactly what it meant. See, venom is nothing but if you really measure the property, it's actually very, 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 very high protein. When you add too much of protein food, right, overdose with protein, your blood cannot handle it. So the safest way is actually for the blood to get clot together so that they can cross-share the resources. Another good example is about not dolphin. Okay, this is actually penguin. Okay, the penguin. Penguin in Antarctica, when it is too cold, they have to actually like gather together to cross-share the temperature or the heat. They will have to cross-share. Same goes, like I said, the body is so intelligent. Whenever they run out of resources, but they still want to keep the human body, I mean the master body, to be alive, they have no choice but to clot together. But the only challenges but venom, because it's overly toxin, is too high in property of the protein, so they go no choice but to clot together, and eventually it will cause what they call hypoxia. Hypoxia means you're running out of oxygen, you're running out of everything, then the blood from red color turn into black. So this will cause death to our human body. So I need you to understand acidosis means that. Now, to even further elaborate, this is another screenshot that I want you to snapshot. Yeah. How do we fall sick? Now, you see, we all fall sick because of the aging of the cell, because of the attack of free radical. Now, what the unfortunate thing is that today's, right, where our food are severely contaminated. Food severely contaminated meaning what? They are being planted with a lot of pesticide, or even the chick, okay, the chick that turned into a hen is supposed to be from 120 days to 150 days to reach maturity. Then we can safely eat those eggs. But unfortunately, technology are so advanced. Okay, Japanese have this technology whereby they can turn the chick into a hen in 18 days. So can you imagine what kind of egg are we taking, right? Water pollution, air, medicine. Whenever we fall sick, there's a tendency we just want to consult a doctor and prescribe by the doctor our medicine. But this medicine, are they genuinely herb-based, or they're helping us to recuperate or recover our health? Or even chemical as well, like household item that you use it for, like your shampoo, okay, or probably your lotion. Are they made by natural ingredient, or they're made by chemical ingredient? And because of all this, they actually start to cause what they call free radical attack. When free radicals start attacking, it will actually make our human blood to become clot or stain. So that's why it starts to become poison. It becomes the blood limpid become thickened, or even it actually will produce a lot of high urine acid. Okay, and eventually we call this acidosis. Like I say, our body is so intelligent, they won't simply just say turn your blood into acidic. They will do their very best to always maintain their pH 7.365. But whatever the leftover or the residue, we call it acidosis, they are still circulating in your bloodstream, right? And therefore they have a different terminology to apply into this acidosis. Okay, then this is a challenge. What's the purpose of blood? The blood is to deliver nutrients to all the cell and the organ. The blood also does second thing, is to carry all the waste, collecting all the waste produced by the cell, by individual cell, so that they can be transported into elimination system. It can be through our lung for exhalation. It can be for sweating. It can be for pass motion. It can be for urination. But unfortunately, this cell cannot get the nutrients. No oxygen, no water, no nutrients. What happened? They start to go into starvation. When they starve, they start to die, and this is where it causes inflammation. I'm sure you heard about inflammation. We got inflamed, right? Inflamed and all these things, swollen, okay, rupture and so forth. So this is simply because our cells don't get enough nutrient coming from the supply from the blood, and eventually where does it lead to? Because of the inflammation, it becomes swollen, and that's where the nerve gets suppressed. For example, the obvious one is always our belly. We look at the upper diaphragm. I mean, we are looking at the rib cage, especially when the liver. Why I like to say about liver? Because nowadays people are suffering severely from the liver stress. Okay, you see, liver is internally the biggest organ, weight about 3 kg, and it does 500 jobs, 500 functions. But unfortunately, liver is the only organ that does not have a nerve system. With no nerve system, the liver cannot complain. Therefore, when they start get inflamed, get bloated, especially with liver fat, that's where you start realizing, hey, how come I got this nerve pain surrounding the liver? Because they are suppressing onto the nerve system. And when this pain it will cause different kind of uncomfort symptom. It can be pain, it can be numb, and etc. And eventually it leads to what they call modern diseases, whereby labeled by the Western medicine. But I want you to realize that it's only by one reason. Our cells are being attacked by free radicals. That means you go back to the root, is that you have to make sure your cell is healthy at all times. You want to have energy, make sure your cell is healthy. You want to make sure your cell is clean from toxin, you clear away your cell, clear the toxin from the cell. So it's all come back to the cell, not to be avoided, not to be attacked by the free radical. Now, see, how do you get negative electron? Okay, now, so of course, when I share all these things, I do have solution. The solution, very fundamental, is to go with drinking a lot of water. But the challenges, like I said earlier, right, 70% people on Earth drank the wrong water. You must drink live water. There are some criteria to be followed. For example, they must be alkali in nature. They must carry high ORP, oxidation reduced potential. Even if you don't think about water is something to your liking, your alternative is to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, fresh fruit and vegetable. Especially like look at Malay, they eat ulam. You look at Chinese, they like to eat a lot of, okay, Chinese are a bit challenging. They like to cook the dishes, especially the vegetable. But if you look at the Western, they like to eat salad or even go for juicing or smoothie and so forth, because you need a lot of antioxidant. Because when you have a lot of antioxidant, they provide the electron, just like this. They actually help to provide itself like a bodyguard to go against the electron, the free radical attack. So you help to neutralize it. You need to take a lot of those. And it's important, water, other than water, if you look at trend now, I want you to understand the trend now is gearing into what? Probiotics. Why probiotics? Because if you understand probiotics is very important. In 2019, almost end of 2019, scientists discovered we have about 4,000 types of microflora inside our body. The other term to call it microbiome, M-I-C-R-O-B-I-O-M-E, microbiome. This microbiome comprises of 4,000 types, but unfortunately, most of the human being on Earth left with 50% bacteria or the microflora inside the body. So therefore, the alternative is to feed yourself with a lot of probiotics. But good probiotics, where can it be found? It can only be found in Malaysia. Why? Malaysia, we are blessed. We have the best probiotic in the world with 113 types of bacteria. Good bacteria, we call it bacteria strain. And the best part, when you are able to feed with good bacteria inside your body, eventually your large intestinal or your gut system will able to have a very balanced ecosystem, because naturally, every healthy human being, suppose in their gut itself or in the large intestine itself, they're supposed to release 10 liters to 12 liters of hydrogen. Research this word called hydrogen. You want to go further, go for H2, hydrogen. They call it molecular hydrogen, H2. Go and research. You can find tons of information about hydrogen. It is now the best antioxidant to be able to make ourselves healthy, even for healing purposes. We have been doing this for the last few years. Okay, it's actually technically it's 20 years, but we have been actively promoting this hydrogen for the last few years. Okay, to be able to restore our health. Even lately, because of the MCO, we use hydrogen to be able to addressing, not heal, I can say heal, because it's addressing a lot of challenges with COVID-19 positive. Okay, we do have a lot of testimony to deal with that. Why? Because when you have hydrogen, H2 or molecular hydrogen inside the body, is the best antioxidant to be able to provide abundance, because it's 10 liters to 12 liters to go and neutralize the free radical attack. Okay, like I say, water, hydrogen, probiotics. Okay, and even of course, the next option is actually go for hydrogen, molecular hydrogen. I'll repeat, there are three solutions, the best solution to address this one. Number one is water. Number two is hydrogen, molecular hydrogen. Number three is probiotic, because it's still interrelated to hydrogen. Actually, these three items can't run away from water, because water is the most important element for us to be able to circulate the body for, what they call clearing the toxin and also circulating or transporting the nutrients to the cell, because every single drop of the blood comprises of 90% water. Our brain is 80% water. Our lung is 85% water. Every single part of body comprises high content of water. Even if I ask you to eat food, I also encourage you, please eat the food with at least 70% water content. Okay. Now you see, when I have this said, I also have to encourage you, other than knowing the solution, you also have to understand about how to adapt to the lifestyle. I mean the correct lifestyle that follow by the law of nature. Okay. This is where I'm actually introducing the SEEDS, S-E-E-D-S. Okay. Sleep adequately, exercise regularly, eat moderately, drink a lot of good water, structural support, I mean take care of postural, as well as supplement. These are all important elements for us to maintain a good health. Now, one good example I would like to showcase. Now, this is one of my student best friend. Okay, it was 2017. My student couldn't handle her. Eventually, she approached me. Okay, she came to me because she wanted to get married in 4 months' time. 4 months. In 4 months' time, she wanted to get married. She approached me in January 2017. I mean, in 4 months' time, it's like later about April or May. She needed to get married. Okay, when she approached me, I looked at her face. Then I shared with her. There's so much of internal injury, internal stress inside your body, especially your spleen are not healthy. Why? She can hardly talk. The moment she talk, right? She talk, her lip will crack. So I told her that there's a lot of gut system problem and even the spleen problem. But she insisted that she persevered. She said, I have confidence if you're able to help me, I can actually recuperate it in 4 months' time. I said, personally, I can guarantee you for 6 months, but not 4 months. But with her own personal effort, she keep on clearing the toxin from the body, and she really follows through very stringently about what I say. She follows strictly. Drink the right water, go and sleep early, exercise many times, eat the right food with the right diet, go and do exercise, go and do posture alignment, then eventually take a lot of supplement. And this is what she became. Okay. January, she came to me in April 2017, about 4 months later. Okay, this is what she became, right? And in November, she got married. She happily married. Then eventually, when she married to Dubai, because she's a Malaysian, but married to Dubai, she conceived, she had babies. But importantly, she delivered a very healthy baby. She's going to be 3 years old this year, right? She's a very healthy baby. Now, next one, I want to share with you. Okay, I don't just encourage you to talk about, okay, make yourself healthy, but also if you are in the severe, what I call acute chronic illnesses or challenges, I will encourage you, please clear away as much toxin as you can from your body. Especially, there are 3 areas that accumulated with a lot of toxin. Now, if you don't mind, let's have a bit of interaction. What do you think are the 3 primary organs that feel a lot of toxin or with poisons? Can you put in the chat? You might want to be participating. Okay, kidney, yes. Okay, what else? Other than kidney, 3 primary organs. To be exact, it's 4, actually. 4. There are 4 places whereby carry heaps of toxin. Liver, okay, intestine, very good. Liver, intestine, and the kidney. One more place. The major.
What about the skin?
Okay, Jeannie answer liver, Chiang also liver, intestine, yes. Okay.
Skin. Skin.
Lauren answer kidney.
What about
okay,
the skin?
One more place. They feel a lot of toxin.
Colon.
Kidney is correct. Large intestine is correct. Skin, not too bad. There's one more place. Because this is actually the major carrier. It's a transporter. It goes everywhere. So if you really understand the major part where it compresses a lot of toxin is actually our blood. Our blood. Okay, so imagine if you were to do it right, then everything. But again, blood needs to be cleansed. There are 2 places that do the cleansing. Number 1 is to filter the water from the blood. It's actually from the kidney. The second part will be the liver. Now, I'll show you this. Can you tell me what this is? Can you share with me what do you think they look like to you? This is done in October. October 9 and October 10. Okay, this lady is 60 plus. She have done 70 times of liver detox, liver and gallbladder detox. I mean to say, for a person who have done more than 70 times, technically she's supposed to be very healthy. But unfortunately, she still complained to me. She was at that's a gallstone, correct? So she actually complained to me that she still don't feel well. She still has a lot of health challenges and so forth. So I was puzzled. So I visited her. I did a scanning for her. Then discovered that she did have problem. Then as I probe further, right, I say for a person who have this, because she recorded every single process of her detox, what they call the liver detox and gallbladder detox. So this is actually called gallstone. Please understand, by rightfully gallstone supposed to call liver stone because gallbladder never produced gallstone. The gallstone the gallstone came from liver. So they give a wrong name to it. But again, of course, we follow the terminology by the medicine. It's still called gallstone. Now, you see, you look at let's compare the gallstone. She had done 70 times, but eventually I helped her. I diagnosed her. Then I can tell you why she still had a lot of stone inside the body. Then I discovered that she still have this so-called illnesses that she claimed. Okay, illnesses she claimed. Then I came on probing. Then I discovered that, oh, for a person started from 18-year-old, she never cooked. She only tapao or she eat out. Okay, they add out or they actually pack home. So that's why I told her, yes, luckily you did a lot of detox, or else by just eating out all the time, you will never know what kind of water do they use, what kind of ingredient, what kind of vegetable, or even the food they cook, what do they have? You never know, because nobody knows that they are organic. But rest assured, it's been obvious, right? Eating out doesn't make sure that you're healthy. So this is the third time she went for something called technology kind of detox. That's why you can see that she's still purging out a lot of stone, still purging out a lot of gallstone. Okay, this is what I want to share with you. Everybody has the opportunity to be able to recuperate or recover back to your youth or your normal, provided you do the right thing. Okay, now the next one I want to share with you is my daughter. My daughter, okay, she's now 16. This year she's 16 in October. Okay, but at the age of 12.4-year-old, she was being tested because, like I said, she was delivered with no vaccination. I make sure that she's healthy and her blood is very clean. And the best part, it was assessed by the American for a test. They call it Gibson test. It's to assess her ability to talk about learning, her memory, her work, her visual processing, her brain power. You'll be amazed. I also amazed. I was shocked actually when I was being being addressed, okay, or being shared that my daughter was able to processing her brain at 99%. In fact, at her age, at 12 years old, she's already eligible to study in the university in America. And of course, like I said, why I want to focus on everybody to know how to learn. But eventually, I want people to be healthy first. So the good thing, what I did right is actually for QQ. Now you can see that she did very well in all. She's an all-rounder person. She did very well in everything. She did well in memory. She did well in dancing, be it the dancing was actually scholarship, the ballet or Latin or even contemporary. She won many awards. She even received many scholarships from all over the places. Right, just like Lily, she got another scholarship to do 1 year ballet. Okay, just 1 year to be able to focus on her dancing. She also awarded a full scholarship to study in the first entrepreneur school, international school in Malaysia in year 2020 and 21. That means she's already finishing her school this year. She was also selected to become a co-host for SDG. As a co-host, it's not easy because it's the first time she participated and she got elected. She got selected. And more importantly, she also have a superpower memory. She also a good public speaker. I mean, in terms of like storytelling, be it Malay or Chinese and English. So she did well. Okay. And the next one I want to share with you is about this. Can you share with me? What do you look at this? This baby was delivered on the 10th of October. It was last month. Okay. Tell me what was actually right beside him. There's a pill residing. Make a wild guess. What do you see? I can share with you this. This actually belongs to two of my students. Okay, couples. They were super unhealthy. They have no idea what to do. So I actually walked through them the whole full detox process, and now I can share with you they are much healthier than I am. Really super healthy. And in fact, this baby was 100% non-medicated child. Non-medicated child means that they never met a doctor at all. They were staying at home. Husband was the one who delivered this baby. And what you see is actually the placenta with the umbilical cord attached. It was actually captured on the 10th of October. And this baby till today is super healthy. Okay, super healthy. So I need you to understand everything is possible as long as you have acquired the right knowledge and the know-how to deal with the challenges. Now, having that said, I'll come to the next part. See, actually, you must understand, like I said, body, it has a super intelligence. You have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you have the information to share with you what is wrong with our body, right? So like I said, I actually simplify. I cannot make it comprehensive due to the time constraint. I just want to share with you, you can even check if your body is healthy by looking at the eye, looking at your tongue, looking at your lips, and so forth. Now, example, you might want to capture this one. If you do see some people with a puffy eye, especially at the lower part, the lower part of the eyeball, okay, you can see the puffy eye. Actually, it's an indication about weak kidney. Of course, dark circle, very obvious. There's acidic blood, or you have bad blood circulation, especially for people who do not sleep well, or do not have adequate sleep, or they are overly exhausted, always have this puffy eye together with this dark circle underneath, right? If you do see a lot of yellow or white spot, small dot, okay, at the eyelid, it also indicate a high cholesterol. Now, people always have dry eye. It means that you always want to blink your eye because you cannot release your tears, or the watery, make your eye watery. It's actually indicate it's a weak liver. But when you have excess of tear coming out, it's also a weak liver, right? So other than that, you always see the white area. We're talking about like this area. Okay, you look at the white area, always have this red blood line. Okay, like blood line is a sign that your liver is overworked. Okay, even if you have like they call it pink pricks, it's actually like you have the dot inside. It's actually a sign that your immunity got weakened. I mean you'll have low immunity. Wrinkles under the eye is a sign of aging, right? If you have your eyeball surrounding is too pale white, it's a sign that you are lack of blood. So it's like, see, we can see a lot of information from every individual of the body parts. Now, this is particular on the eye. Now, surrounding the mouth, you have cracks surrounding the mouth, is actually the stomach issue. Like I said, it's actually reflecting that your spleen is actually get weak. If you have a temperature, it's like your dry lips, it's actually the body temperature rises. So you always can start to observe. Now, even I give an example. Any one of us here, if you can put in the chat, always have the crack under the sole. You mean your feet, under your feet, under the sole, you always have crack or even have corn. Anyone? This is applicable especially on ladies. Anyone who have the sole with a lot of crack? Can you hear me? Excuse me, everybody, can you hear me? Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, can hear you. Okay, sorry, I thought I lost all of you. So anyone have an idea when your sole have a lot of crack, or you have a lot of corn? Corn means actually like you have hard skin. Anyone have these experiences, especially on the sole, on your forefeet? Anyone? Yes. Okay. Some they do, right? Some of you do have, but actually majority of the human being, right? And I say I would dare to say majority of human being, be it they're ladies or the gentlemen, they have a lot of crack on the sole, okay, of your feet. Simply is a sign to indicate to you that you are severely deficient in trace mineral. Trace mineral is actually like it's still amount of a mineral that needed, but actually in a very small quantity. They call it trace mineral. Okay, between the soul and the brain. Okay, so I'll talk to you about the scoliosis afterwards. Now, so the soul itself, right? The soul itself, when you have a lot of crack, right, it's a sign that you are severely deficient in trace mineral. Not just mineral. Mineral, it can be calcium, it can be iron, it can be something that based on majority, like magnesium and so forth. Those are called minerals. But trace mineral is something that very insignificant, but they are needed for our connectivity, our cell to communicate. So when you are able to consume, for example, like take a lot of organic sea salt, especially when you take a lot of bamboo salt. I'm sure you heard about bamboo salt. Bamboo salt is actually very important for us to be able to replenish ourselves with the trace mineral. Imagine if you take like half a teaspoon a day for the next 2 weeks, then you start realizing that your soul becomes smooth and beautiful, simply because you already overcome the challenges of not having deficient of the sufficient of this trace mineral. Okay, so I'll come back to the elaboration after this. Okay, so do understand actually every single part of our organ, they have ability to identify the health challenges. When it's actually too white, insufficient blood. I mean, your lips is actually too whitish, it's become whitish in color, it's a sign that it's insufficient. When it's too red, it's actually overheat. So you can actually understand by observing the body part. Now let's look at the tongue. I will not be able to do everything, but I'll just share with you. Now, even the shape of the tongue, able to tell what is wrong with our body. For example, when you ask them to showcase to your tongue, okay, that means that you show to them about your tongue and it becomes very thick. That means you have too much of water. When it's too thin, it becomes like you're insufficient moist or not enough water inside the body. Or even when your tongue has a lot of crack, when you have a lot of crack, it's a sign that you do not have enough water as well. Okay, now one good example that you might, if you do have a partner next to you, ask he or she to stretch out. It's like pull, I mean, it's like show out your tongue and stretch as much as you can. If you see your tongue is shaking, okay, it's shaking, okay, it's actually indicate one thing is that you have a weak heart. That means your whole body physically is very weak, especially your heart is very weak. Or if you see that your tongue is tilted, it's like either tilted to the left or tilted to the right, it's a sign that there's something wrong with your brain. Okay, I'm not saying that you're definitely going to suffer from this. There is a potential that when you see your tongue is tilted to left or right, there's a potential that you might have some blood clot inside your brain. So this is where the intelligence lies, whereby our body can share a lot of information. Now, color of tongue is too red, temperature rises. Okay, pale tongue means actually you're very weak. Then if you have a purple tongue, it's a sign that your blood is too thick and it's very clogged. We call it viscosity. That means it's too dirty. So you have to start realizing that you have to do something about it. Okay, the size, too thick, too much of water. Too thin is actually not enough water, right? Then you have to see the coating. Let's say your coating is too thin, whereby it's actually, especially when you see yellowish color, it's too much of bacteria residing onto your tongue or even in your body, right? Yellow tongue is actually also indicate hot. Black tongue is actually indicate that your physical strength is very weak. So I will just give you some indication as to understand how to read your body, right? Hair too thin means actually you're aging too fast. When your middle part of the hair is actually losing, become bald, you have too much of fat. Okay, or you start to have your hair to become whitened, it's like get white, you are deficient in calcium. Split end is very obvious, you do not have enough blood in your bloodstream. Okay, this is all the sign that can do. Now, real record nail is actually more obvious. It's actually record the living habit. Okay, this is one example. Start observing at the big thumb. Okay, this is where I discovered I got a lot of liver problem, because when I start learning about myself, I also start learning about all these body parts. Then I discovered that I have liver problem simply because I overdosed myself with too much of painkiller. Imagine like 7 years to 10 years, I consume myself daily 16 tablets of Panadol painkiller just to suppress my pain. Eventually, it becomes very, very stressful to the liver. Now, if you can see this like drain system, okay, this drain system, this is pointed by the arrow. If you can see this one, and when you go and touch it and they're rough, please start to take care of your liver. Your liver are overstressed. Okay, you need to do cleansing. Okay, and there's so many information you can learn from there. Due to time constraint, I'm not able to elaborate everything. Just that I want you to understand we have the ability to diagnose it. But having that said, I'll share you in the next one. How do you know if you have heart problem? Look at your earlobe. Study your earlobe. Every morning, if you can, observe the mirror and start studying about your earlobe. If you can see this line, okay, this particular deep line appearing at between the above your earlobe, is a sign that you have a weakened heart. Your heart is getting weakened. Okay, it's getting weaker and weaker. Please do something about it. It means you either have to put in a lot of blood into your heart, or you have too much fat inside your heart, or your heart is actually overloaded, or it does not have enough blood. There are so many reasons why your heart is weak. But observing this one, you have to start paying attention. So typically, of course, can you stimulate that? Of course, please drink a lot of hot water. Go and what they call punch your chest to be able to stimulate the pumping of your heart and so forth. There are many ways to go about it. But just that today I'm sharing with you how to identify if you do have heart challenges. Okay, it's either on your left earlobe or on the right earlobe. Start observing if you have this line. Okay. Now, how do you know have a high sugar content? Now, this is a gentleman. If you observe carefully, look at the eye. Okay, between the eye, this is your nose. Okay, between the eye, okay, you can see there's one deep line on horizontal deep line. When the eye is actually getting more obvious and deeper, meaning to say you start realizing that he or she might be suffering from high blood sugar content. Start observing people with high blood sugar. They have a very obvious that this particular big line appearing in between the two eyes. Okay, between the two eyes. So this is where you can identify whether he or she have a high sugar content. Now, how do you know if a person is with high liver stress? Okay, observing between the eyebrow, in between the eyebrow, if you can see this vertical line and it's getting deeper and obvious, you know that he or she have been suffering from liver stress. He have been suffering from liver stress. Okay. Now, this is actually more obvious. It means that you can see two vertical lines appear at the forehead, in between the eyebrow. And this is actually to indicate that he undergo a very severe liver stress. Okay, alternatively, do we have option? Of course we do. Is to use machine, right? Quantum resonant machine. I'm not here to encourage, I mean, I'm not saying discourage or going for blood check whatsoever. You can still continue as it is, but technology are so advanced now, you can actually use technology like quantum resonance, or we call it quantum medicine or quantum physics and so forth. What does it mean? It means that just by holding onto a metal rock and within 90 seconds, you're able to identify your health challenges from the head to toe, right? So this is particularly, I've been using this type of technology for the last 20 years because I've been researching them. They used to be very expensive machine, as expensive like 100 and 200,000, up to like 1,000, the cheapest is 1,000 US dollar. But I'm particularly fond using this machine to be able to help people to diagnose their health challenges because I need to understand how to recuperate health. I use this to my family members. I use it to all my friends. I'm even using it to my own self to identify my health challenges. I even apply to my own daughter to be able to regularly check how can she maintain to reach out to the optimal health, right? It's a very simple machine because just have to use a software. It will help me to give all the information. Now, one example, this gentleman, 22-year-old, okay, you can see that this is actually focusing on the heart. He used to have a lot of heart challenges. Now, even come to heart pumping. He's only 20-year-old, but he'll be suffering from health challenges. Now, how do you read this? You can see it's actually, I don't focus on the numbers, I focus on the color chart. The color chart, you look at the color bar. Now, the pointer is pointing at in between all the green color. Green color means actually at the in between, means actually it's at the optimal level. But when the pointer moving towards to the left-hand side, it's actually the sign whereby on the left quadrant, the sign that it's actually his body become more and more deteriorated. I mean, energy getting lower and lower. But once you reach out to the right-hand side, it's a sign that it's actually indicate inflammation. Meaning to say, if you look at whatever she's suffering, right, focusing on the yellow color or the red color, he's actually deficient in blood. Okay, look at this one. I give an example. Look at this one. He's actually deficient in blood. That means his heart doesn't have enough blood to go and pump. Even to the extent some might be suffering from inflammation and so forth. So again, these are the very simple tool for us to be able to make changes. Now, look at on the September 27th. Okay, September 27th. 2 months later, after this gentleman had been focusing, drinking a lot of water with hydrogen. We call it molecular hydrogen, the H2. Eventually, he started recuperating. In fact, he's also the old one that been suffering from, that been actually what they call diagnosed with COVID-19 positive. But within 2 days time, going with high dosage of hydrogen, he recuperated. That means he's actually from positive become negative. Okay, this is actually a gentleman that we have to do a diagnosis just for your sharing. Okay, next one is actually, this is also Kendrick, yeah, same person. Okay, now look at the human toxin. Okay, this is actually pesticide. It means that you'll be eating too much of vegetable filled with pesticide. Same goes to the meat we filled with pesticide. But after taking it like 2 months time, you can see that he recuperated. His body has the ability, to put in a lot of body guards to go and clear away the toxin. This is what it does. Okay, this machine is quite unique for me to be able to identify a lot of health challenges. It doesn't just it works for anybody. Okay, but again, just be clear, this machine works from 12 years old and above. Anything below 12 years old can only give you very minimal information. Once you reach out to 12 years old, information can be comprehensive. Just by doing a 90-second scanning, if I were to generate a report for you, you produce 107 pages of report. Okay, and this is another lady who has been suffering from osteoarthritis, very severe osteoarthritis. But you can see that within a very short period of time, like less than 1 month time, she recovered. She used to suffer from insomnia because people who suffer from osteoarthritis always have these challenges because not enough blood. The bone is actually so hollow whereby it doesn't produce enough blood. So once you're able to replenish with hydrogen, with probiotics, and even with calcium, very good high quality of calcium, she recuperated. Now, what does this mean? This one is actually indicated. Osteocalcin is actually indicated his body is misaligned. It means that the body portion are not aligned. It needs to be fixed physically, or you have to wear a pair of insole to go and do alignment through walking. But again, the rest of the thing, right, have significant changes for her. Okay, so I would like to share until here. If you do have any questions and doubts, please do not hesitate to ask in the questions, or you can even open the mic to throw your questions or your some challenges. Okay, but what I'll do is actually I would like to answer to Pochi. Let me answer to Pochi's doubt and question first. can you explain about relationship between the soul and our brain? Okay. If you understand the soul, okay, please understand soul and the brain, they're all interconnected. Interconnected from where? From a spinal, right? That's why you look at people who have challenges with the spinal cord. Spinal cord means actually they're tilted left and right, or we call it scoliosis or multiple sclerosis. You are not able to have a very good blood flow. Now, one good example, I always like to use this a good example. Look at a pregnant mommy. At the age of 5 months old, when they're pregnant with a 5-month-old baby, you have two problems. One is actually urination problem. One is actually the constipation. Why? Because the ovary, the baby is too big. It actually suppress onto the nerve system of your large intestinal and your kidney. So you're not able to communicate properly to your brain. Now, especially when you look at your soul have to communicate through the spinal cord to reach out to the brain. When you have challenges because they're being pulled down, because of flat-footed, it becomes a challenge. Now, you see, why flat-footed is a problem? Human beings fall under the category of animal. Meaning to say, we suppose as an animal walk on 4-legged. But we as a human being, because we need to intelligent, okay, we need to use our hand more delicately. Therefore, we need to walk with 2 feet, okay, and use our hand for other purposes. But in order to support this body weight, please note, our feet is very, very, pathetic. Meaning to say, your feet have less bone, but need to support 60% of the body weight. Therefore, in order to support the weight, we need to develop an arch at our sole. Now, just imagine, look at Penang Bridge here. Why every intermediate in the Penang Bridge, there's always an arch? Because everything that passes through at the center point, okay, it will create a tension. A tension means actually like the weight will be distributed at the center. If you don't have something to support it, eventually they will start to tilt down and eventually it will collapse. Luckily, there's an arch to support. Same goes to human being. We are 2-legged. Our 2 feet have to support a very heavy body weight. 60% body weight are supported by these two very tiny bone. Because if you look at whole body is more than 200 bones, 25% means actually 52 bones are located at our feet to support this body weight. So the sole is actually important for us to preserve an arch so that our spinal, every single disc of spinal, able to intercommunicate it and also increasing the blood flow. So if you see a child, they're born cesarean, they are not able to go against the gravity pull because they are open up. They are through operation, they take it out, they don't go through the compression. Now, the lady, why they have this pelvic is for the baby head when they come out first. This pelvic used as an activator to compress, is to press all the baby out, making sure that all the skin of the nerve system are being activated and communicated from the entire body to the brain. So when they live on the gravity pull, they have ability to against the gravity pull. Then they start developing the arch and their body have the muscle to be able to make it strong. But failing to do so, like I said, there are 3 problems. Number 1, they become flat-footed. There's a potential they become scoliosis or multiple sclerosis, and that affect their blood circulation and have the ability to have good health and also have a focus. That's why I've seen too many of these children in 2006. There's a reason why I actually start developing this insole to help people to understand how to restore their health. Of course, alternatively is to learn how to walk properly, especially like walk bare feet at the natural ground. Walk bare feet at the natural ground. Okay, I hope this will explain to you. What about ginger, turmeric for health? Yes, ginger are very good. Ginger are in the hierarchy of the health food, right? In terms of alkalinity, ginger is the best. That's why you look at Chinese, when they cook anything, they use a lot of ginger. Alternatively is turmeric. These are the 2 very high antioxidant food. Ginger rank number 1. So in fact, you look at any Chinese, when they cook their dishes, they love to use ginger. But not everyone loves ginger because of the spice, because of the spiciness. So your alternative is go for turmeric. Turmeric as a second option. Under Ayurvedic, turmeric also been labeled to become one of the highest antioxidant, high antioxidant food in the food hierarchy. Okay, any others that like to ask? Any questions?
SK, hello. Can you hear me?
You can open the mic if you like to.
Yes, I did. I have. It's open, but can you hear me?
Yes,
SK,
I can hear you. I can hear you. Please.
You mentioned about insole.
Yes, insole, right.
Are you selling insole?
Actually, I don't anymore, but I can introduce the right party to fix your spinal if you're interested.
No, I'm not talking about spinal. I'm interested in the insole.
Yes, I understand you. Understand that you're interested in the insole. Like I said, I no longer sell the insole, but I can introduce the right party recommending you the right insole if you're interested.
Okay, can you put it on the chat?
Yes, yes, can. You might want to refer to
you.
Florence. Florence, you might want to reach out to her for the contact number. Then we can actually contact you.
Yeah, I need it. Yeah, I need it from you too. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. Who else has any questions before I?
One more question.
Yes,
one more
please.
question, SK.
Yes, please.
Is apple cider vinegar taken? Does it become acidic as it is, or it turns into alkaline?
Okay, if it's actually like organic apple cider vinegar, they will turn as apple cider vinegar, it tastes acid. It tastes like acid, just the same like the lemon. But actually, when it was actually consumed and digested in the body, it will turn into alkaline because of the mineral. So apple cider vinegar is an alkaline food, not acidic food.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
but again, right? I want to clarify as well. As an Asian, abstain as much as you can not to take apple cider vinegar. As an alternative, learn from Japanese. Take red wine vinegar or brown rice vinegar.
What is wrong with apple cider vinegar?
Because apple cider vinegar is actually considered a cold food. The more you consume it, you become colder unless you balance it out with ginger. Okay, when we talk about eating food, right, there's a cold food and there's a warm food. Look at Japanese. If you look at Japanese, they're able to live as long as they want, like up to 87 years old. They do not consume apple cider vinegar. Alternatively, they take red wine vinegar or they take the brown rice vinegar.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Red wine.
Yeah, red wine is actually referring to the grapefruits, the grapes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They just name it as like Hong Zhao or probably red wine, but actually it's actually made by grapes. Is it okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Red wine and brown wine.
Yep.
Yeah. Anybody else has any questions before I
No.
ask? I have a list of questions to ask SK.
Do ask if you want to.
This
is
okay, SK.
Yeah.
But we got to start learning to read people's facial sign.
Yeah. Be good.
I'm going to check on my tongue whatsoever. Whatsoever. Okay. Another thing is just wonder whether do you do consultation for people on that? You do reading for people, or can we just buy the device and do it ourselves?
There are a few options. What I do currently right now, I collaborated with some of the organization, training them to know how to use the machine for diagnosis. Of course, these respective companies, they do their offering. Personally, I don't do as much, but I do consult on individual basis. But again, people that came to me mostly are on the challenges on health, the severe health challenges. I give an example, like I have dealt with many with like high blood sugar content. Example, high blood sugar content with measurement of 25, right? So they wanted to be able to get it subside. So again, despite I were able to help, I still make an indication and with clarity that you still have to go for ordinary doctors, blood check and so forth, to be able to validate or actually validated that you're actually getting better. So I give an example. I have one incident, 52-year-old lady, injected with insulin for 20 years. In 20 years, measurement of the blood sugar is 25. Okay, she got fed up and she wanted to suppress it, okay, or probably eliminate or even minimize it. So I told her, you want, I can help you. Okay, so what I did is actually, I make her a promise, actually just go for 15 days of detoxification. 15 days, 15. Then, but of course, eventually, I still need her to go for blood check. Now, I can share with you this. She had 25, the blood sugar at 25 all along. After 15 days, but she only did the blood check on 24th day, right? Her blood sugar confirmed, maintained at 14 ever since. But in 6 months later, her blood sugar go back to 6.5 and below, right? The second incident, my mother-in-law, 2019 November, she fell down from the staircase. broke her arm in 2 parts. She didn't go for operation. She just go for ordinary recuperation. But eventually, then she was discovered, okay, in December 13, she had high blood sugar at 15. Luckily, she didn't go for any prescription. She never knew that she had high blood, right? So my wife was worried. So I said, nothing to worry about. Just go bring the product over to, because she stayed in Cebu. My mother-in-law stayed in Cebu, in Sarawak. So she just went over on the 25th December. It was a Christmas day. So every day we did the measurement. But eventually on the February 3rd, confirmed by doctor with blood check, she maintained at 7.5. So I'm saying that everything is possible. Now, my next proud one to be shared, a 69-year-old stage 4 lung cancer. Stage 4 lung cancer, okay, and of course, she didn't go for any chemotherapy whatsoever. Then doctors just say, if you don't go for it, then there's a high chance of very high risk. But eventually they came to me, then I do the diagnosis with this machine, okay, QRMA. Then I discovered, like I say, we are not here to tell you you have cancer. We are there to say what is wrong with the whole body in general. Eventually, she subscribed to what I say, and then I just asked her to take 1 bottle. 1 bottle means 500 ml of probiotics every day for the next 7 months. Went for the blood check, went for the cancer marker checking, went for MRI scan, went for CT scan. She couldn't find any cancer in that. She cannot find any cancer inside the cell. Okay, so as I say, we can go with natural, but of course, eventually, I'm not here to identify that, hey, I'm a doctor, I'm a practitioner. I still need to disclaim as that whatever we do, we understand what's wrong with you, but eventually you need to be validated by the doctors. So I can check, no issue at all. Okay, I can check.
May I ask how much is the QRMA machine? How much is the machine you're selling? If we were to buy?
Technically, I don't sell the machine. I actually sell the training. Okay, that means you buy the machine with the training. Okay, I'm charging 2,000 ringgit. 2,000 ringgit machine come with 1 year warranty, but lifetime support. I mean, I will train you until you know how to use the machine. You can always start appreciate it by helping people to diagnose, by understanding what are the health challenges. Okay, so the support is lifetime. It means I train until you're familiar with the machine. Because imagine if you really want to learn about the machine, it will take you a long period. But I simplify in such a way by you can identify by looking for certain pattern. For example, you can look at the body constitution. You can identify what is wrong with their large intestinal. Okay, like we call the gut system from the large intestinal until what they call the bone issue.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what I do. So this is what I've been doing, a lot of training to a lot of corporations, especially companies who actually wanted to appreciate using this simple machine to know how to do diagnosis and at the same time provide solution accordingly.
SK?
Yes.
You mentioned about liver detox.
Yep.
Where can we do it?
You can do it on your own, do at home. It's all DIY.
How do we do it?
You just have to acquire the product. Of course, we have to diagnose you first. We diagnose you, then we identify your health challenges. Then we will actually advise you to go for the liver detox. It can be liver detox. Okay, there are basically few places to be detoxed: the liver, the kidney, and the large intestine.
So you are selling the product for liver detox?
I can make an offering. Like I say, I might not or might not. It depends on the individual. I cannot conclusively say that you must go for liver detox. But of course, unless you really want to insist that you want to cleanse yourself, you want to reset yourself, then you can.
Okay, can we have your handphone number, please?
Yeah, you can just refer to Florence.
Okay.
Florence,
I have put in.
Yeah, you should reach out to Florence, then you communicate from there.
My phone number in the chat already.
Yeah.
Where are you based, Pochi?
Oh, Kota Damansara, Florence, that number is SK's number.
No, that's my number.
You reach to Florence.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Florence.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Who else? Anybody else got any questions before I ask? I got a list of questions for SK. For the benefit of you all.
How about probiotics? What would you like to know about probiotics? Okay, like I said, we are very blessed in Malaysia. We have the best probiotic in the world. Why I dare to say in the world? Because since 2008, I've been actually studying about the probiotic equivalent name is called effective microorganism. It started from Dr. Higa from Japan. At that time, I start using EM to promote about restoration of Mother Earth, like talk about recycling, talk about agriculture and so forth. But eventually, with blessing, Dr. Higa came to Malaysia to promote this with Penang. I was one of the committee member. Eventually, I noticed that Dr. Higa also have this probiotic for health. But unfortunately, this probiotic was sold in Malaysia for more than 330 ringgit per bottle for 500 ml. Okay, until his partner called Dr. Nam, he's a Korean. He spoke Japanese. Then he migrated to Malaysia as a second home. So since 2009. Okay, so since then he has been researching about this probiotic in Malaysia, and Dr. Higa's probiotic comprises of 83 strain of bacteria, but Dr. Nam was able to increase up to 113 types. And this 113 type was so powerful that, like I say, I use it to treat a lot of people with severe or acute illnesses. Okay, this probiotic is actually available in Malaysia. If you're really interested, like I said, can you please reach out to Florence for detail? Okay, lives in Singapore. Yes, it can be delivered to Singapore. If you don't mind, just reach out to Florence to communicate. Okay, I also share with you why I'm so confident with this probiotic. I have so many incidents for the last 10 years. In Malaysia, it's very common people have addicts. They mean they admitted to hospital. Doctor will say, hey, your blood pellet is very low. There's nothing they can do until you boost up your immunity. Then the blood pellet recuperated by itself. But if you just have to take 2 bottles, 1 bottle is 500 ml. You just have to consume 2 bottles. I personally can assure you, you can check out tomorrow. 85% of all our clients that consume these 2 bottles can check out tomorrow. What happened to the remaining 15%? Remaining 15% just have to take another 1 more bottle. He or she can check out the next day, the subsequent day. Okay, this is for addicts. Now, also lately, we use it to treat a lot of COVID-19 positive. Very positive result. Very positive result.
SK?
Yes.
SK, normally when you want to take something beneficial to the body,
yes.
You have to cleanse it first, right? So we do a liver detox before we take probiotics. Okay,
there are 2. For probiotics, you can do both, but preferably, of course, like you say, good to cleanse your body before you start appreciate more of all the good stuff that go into your body. Can you follow me, Fosi?
Do a detox first.
Okay, we always encourage you to cleanse your body prior to you actually replenishing or repairing. Okay, if you understand body work this way, no matter what good food you put inside your body, when the body starts to realize that they have better energy, they will put priority to do cleansing. That's why you see some product, I give an example. If you don't understand what I'm saying, right, I will encourage you, please go and take coconut oil. You know what's coconut oil? Especially virgin coconut oil. There are 2 types of virgin coconut oil. One is virgin coconut oil, and you must look for MCT 60 and above. I repeat, when you look for VCO, virgin coconut oil, you always look for MCT content, medium chain triglyceride, 60 and above. It must be 60 and above. If you cannot find the indication, then encourage you, please don't buy. Buy any VCO or virgin coconut oil, they give you indication 60 and above. But if you want even higher potency, you go for MCT 100, medium chain triglyceride 100. This 100, when you consume in your body, you start realizing when at the moment I consume probably 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon inside my body, when you start to have diarrhea, congratulations. That means your body start to have good energy and they put priority to go and clear away the toxin from your body, especially your large intestine. Because the dirtiest places other than the blood, the second part will be on your large intestine. So they will help you to clear away. So that's why eating good food is good for our body. But sometimes if you're good that you're specific when you are overclogged, let's say for example, your liver are overclogged with so many stones, put priority on cleansing your liver so that everything that goes to your body will be very much appreciated. Then you can actually reach out to the optimal level.
Okay, how do you see virgin coconut oil against olive oil?
Okay, olive oil. Okay, olive oil. You can still take olive oil, but it will never be as powerful as compared to MCT oil. Okay, I give an example. I've been helping people to talk about clearing the challenges of the gallbladder stone. See, a lot of people have been suffering from gallbladder stone, inflammation, and have too much of stone inside the gallbladder, and they cannot suppress it until doctors say, sorry, no choice, you have to remove your gallbladder. Okay. If you were to take coconut oil, VCO, you have to go for 5 tablespoons. When I say 5 tablespoons, you go for soup spoon, Chinese soup spoon, not the ordinary Western spoon. The Chinese soup spoon, go for 5 tablespoons, preferably go with 10. In less than 5 to 10 days time, when you go for ultra scan again by the doctor, he or she will discover that your gallbladder, the gallstone, and your inflammation will be suppressed no more. But you can't do that with olive oil because they're having a different properties. The property is simply because the MCT have medium chain triglyceride, meaning actually the good oil can dissolve the bad oil. I like to use the analogy about petroleum versus the lubricant. Like in your car engine, you have lubricant, right? When you put your hand inside the lubricant and take it out and wanted to wash with detergent, you can't wash it away. The only way to eliminate your lubricant is to use petroleum. So the petroleum, the analogy petroleum, you can just go and take the VCO as a petroleum to dissolve all your bad oil. Today, many people are suffering from high liver fat. High liver fat. Because in America, every 1 out of 3 Americans all have what they call non-alcoholic liver fat. Same goes to Malaysia today. Look at the obesity. Look at the liver are filled with too much of fat. That's why they cannot eliminate because they've been taking the wrong fat, the wrong oil, cooking oil especially. Abstain yourself from cooking your vegetable with oil that store inside the plastic container. Those are called trans fat or hydrogenated fat. If you really want to be healthy, go for any healthy fat. For example, like distilled cooking oil. You can go for your olive oil for cooking, but you don't consume it for you to push out your gallbladder stone. You can only use what they call VCO. Okay. How do we buy? You can just go to any organic shop, look for VCO, virgin coconut oil, with high MCT 60 and above. Remember, look for MCT 60 and above, or else you want higher potency, go for MCT 100. MCT 100. Jeannie, I hope that answers your questions. Okay, if you are staying in what they call Kuala Lumpur or PJ or even in Malaysia, right? You might want to look for the VCO from this BMS. BMS guarantee they always go with 60 and above. Yes, you can actually source it from the shop itself. Yep. 5 to 10. How to take? Take early in the morning with empty stomach. Please make sure don't drink water. Please do not drink water. Of course, if you want to start, I would suggest you start with 1 tablespoon, then you gradually increase 1 tablespoon by 1 tablespoon. Okay, I give you this example. I have this case. A long time ago, it was like 2015. A Western D engineer, he's a technician. Okay, he was very obese. And you look at his face, it's all dark, it's like eye circle, very dark, and he perspire all the time. He always has sweat. So he seek for help when he understand about he need to get rid of the fat. So what I did, because he told me that, oh, I can't afford to buy many things, I can only afford very minimal. I say, fine, go to BMS and buy this VCO, 60 and above, and go for 5 tablespoons a day. 2 weeks later, I went back to, because the location was in Penang, in Western D. So I went back and met up with him. His body shrunk. It's like practically shrunk by half. Then he feel very energetic. Then he told me that just by consuming half a bottle, because 1 bottle is about 750 ml, 750 ml, he just consumed by half bottle. He keep on hearing a lot of stone coming out from his body. Then he actually feel better. But of course, I did share with him. Please note, everybody, please note, if you've never done detox before and you're more than 30-year-old, like it or not, in your liver, it comprises of 10,000 of gallstone. I repeat, if you've never done detox before and you're more than 30-year-old, you like it or not, your liver comprises of 10,000 gallstone. So it is good that you always take a lot of good coconut oil or VCO to be able to push it out. Alternatively, of course, you can do detox, liver detox. Okay, for any one of you, I'm sorry, don't mind, just let me finish. For any one of you, yes, Kochi?
SK, you say 5 spoons at 1 go.
Yes, 1 go, correct. 1 go. Like I said,
on an empty stomach and no water.
Yes, empty stomach, no water. Because oil cannot mix with water, otherwise you will vomit. You understand? Oil and water never mix, never mingle around. So you will start vomiting. Do it gradually, one step at a time. Okay, 1 step at a time. Now, for any one of you, if you are really interested to do liver detox, when you want to do the conventional way, okay, please approach to a forest. I will send you a step by step to understand how to do liver detox conventionally. I mean, conventional way. Conventional means actually you can just go and buy the buy what they call the olive oil. You can buy the Epsom salt. You can buy the apple or even lemon juice to do on your own. But this is actually a bit tedious and lengthy. As compared to technology, it's a bit different. Technology only takes you one night, then you can push out the stone. This is actually like on the conventional approach. See, I can always advise you how can you do it conventionally. So please approach Florence for information. Then she will forward you the step-by-step note as to how to do your liver detox. How can I start to eat breakfast? 30 minutes, 30. I would urge you and inform you after taking 5 spoons, you will start realizing in 10 to 15 minutes time, you start to purge, right? Purge until it completes, then only you eat your breakfast if you can. But if you want to say because of the work need basis, and you want to stop the purging, diarrhea into a diarrhea, right? Then I would suggest you take 1 slice of white bread. Yep. If you're interested with the conventional method, please approach your Florence for the detail. You are more than welcome to approach her to get the instruction as to how to do the liver detox.
But SK, I am interested to do the shortcut way. I don't want to do the conventional way.
Shortcut way, they buy technology.
Yeah.
It's a one-time effort. That's why you see the lady who actually did it is actually went with the conventional way, but she did it just within one night. She pushed out a lot of stone out. Okay. Anyone else would like to ask?
Anybody else have got question, or else I will have questions for SK? Okay, SK, let me, you mentioned about that Malaysia has got the most dialysis center in the world.
Correct.
So basically it's because of the lifestyle or because of the food, but the food, of course, the whole world, we are all eating processing food, right?
Yep.
So what is the cause of this, the lifestyle?
Blood sugar.
Blood sugar.
Okay.
A lot of teh tarik, is it?
Issue number 1, sugar. Issue number 2, refined carbohydrate. Issue number 3, cooking oil. Too much of fried stuff, right? So you must understand, like I say, our body is so intelligent, it recycles everything. When you have a lot of sugar that cannot be utilized, the liver will turn it into fat. But overly loaded the whole body with visceral fat and this fat and that fat. So eventually we become clot. And the sugar, too much of sugar, it makes your blood vessels sticky. Now, one good example, I want you to imagine this. When I say sticky, just imagine that you have blood sugar, you have sugar water applied onto your palm, and you keep on squeezing your hand. What will happen to your hand eventually? It becomes sticky, right? So imagine your bloodstream inside the blood are very sticky. This stickiness will cause damages to your kidney. That's why a lot of people go for kidney dialysis. Blood sugar, right? And then, of course, we all supposed to have the intelligence for the pancreas to secrete insulin, but now you're overdosed. You are not able to change your lifestyle, you change your diet, and most importantly, people don't drink water. The pathetic thing, actually, a lot of people don't drink water. Drink water is very, very important. We are all filled with water, and yet we like to drink water with taste, or liquid with taste, to be exact. They like sugar, they like teh tarik, very high content of sugar. Then best part, we also have too much of dairy food. You have to stop taking all this, right? Because otherwise it actually will cause a lot of stress to your body. That's why livers, we talk about the oxidative stress is simply because we are feeding ourselves with too much of toxin.
Okay. Right? Then SK, how often should one person do detox?
Okay, for a person who are more than 30-year-old never did detox, at least you committed yourself to do one time in a lifetime. Okay, but this particular lifetime require about 4 months detox consecutively. Meaning to say, even I surrendered that formulation to you, I still have to urge you, please go and do your detox consecutively 4 times within 4 months period. I mean 1 month once. You want to expedite the whole thing is 3 months once. Okay, sorry, my mistake. 1 per 3 weeks. One per 3 weeks. The fastest is 1 per 3 weeks. Otherwise, it's once per month for the next 4 months. Eventually, you just have to do it once a year or twice a year. Eventually, you just have to do it once a year or twice a year. That's it.
Do we have to be grounded, so-called, to stay at home when we do this detox program?
At least one night. At least one day, one of the day.
Okay.
One of the day. As I said, please read the instruction. Anything unclear, please refer to us. Okay, we'll elaborate further.
Okay, so the other thing is when a person got insomnia, cannot sleep. Now I understand also from you about our body needs time to detox, so it is good to sleep actually from 11 p.m. onwards. Yeah.
Yep. Sleeping is very important.
So, but however, if a person has got insomnia at 1, 2 a.m., he or she cannot sleep. So, for just by just lying down on the bed, is her body going through the detox program, or she must go into sleep?
Okay, detox only works well when you actually go to deep sleep. When you go to deep sleep, because you see, there's a timing. Okay, please understand this. Why sleeping is important? Because our body start to do detox at the 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is started, your lymphatics start to do detox. 11 to 1, the gallbladder. Then 1 to 3, the liver. Then 12 o'clock, please note, 12 o'clock, midnight, 12 o'clock, 12 a.m. until 4 a.m. is a golden period whereby your bone marrow produces the new blood to replace the old blood. Because every single drop of the blood, the lifespan is only about 120 days, 4 months. You only work for 4 months. So that's why at all time, our body needs to replenish with new blood to replace the old blood. Old blood must go away. That's why they need to be cleared away. They need to be trapped inside the gallstone and so on and so forth. But if you fail to do so, you are not replenishing with good blood. That's why you always use the old blood or the aging blood to continue making your body afloat. So that's why sleeping is very important. But the challenge is like this. Why people suffering from insomnia? There are many reasons. Of course, it can be like you overdose yourself with caffeine, or you are overly stimulated. The most common one is that a lot of people love to think during the sleep. I always encourage, please, if you can, stop thinking after 9 p.m. Stop thinking. You can read book that's not stimulating. You can watch movie that's entertaining or leisure, but don't force you to go into thinking mode. But people have challenges to suppress that thinking because they say I have to think during the sleep. That's why you cannot sleep. Next one, please expose yourself to sunlight. You need sunlight to absorb a lot of vitamin D. The vitamin D will actually help you produce better quality of bone by combining with the calcium. That's why if you do not have good calcium, you don't have good bone, you cannot produce good quality of blood. That's why people suffering from insomnia. Now, even if you can, you must go into dark. I mean, the entire room must be in the dark, except that you can have red light. Okay, if you can, even induce yourself by listening to some smooth music. Smooth music means like natural music. It can be raining. It can be what they call the thunderstorm. It can be ocean. It can be anything. Just make sure you induce yourself into a very what they call serene mode. I mean, you're quiet. Okay, don't do anything that's overly active, or don't do anything that's stimulating your body.
There's a question here by Jeannie Tan.
Okay, lip crack. How do you improve it? You need to fix your stomach. Lip crack that generally indicate is a weak spleen. So it would be good that you always take a lot of probiotics and also go and cleanse your what they call the stomach. If you can, take a lot of enzyme or probiotics. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Any more questions?
Okay, my last question here is, you see, SK, normally when we say take it with an empty stomach, let's say for half a day, I've already in between been taking food. So how do we consider as empty stomach after our last ingestion of the food, consuming the food? How long does it take? In other words, how long does it take for our food to be fully digested and considered as empty stomach?
Okay, if you understand eating, okay, without eating, right? It all depends on what kind of food are you taking. For example, if you take fruit juices, I mean, you blend your fruit and your vegetable in juice. You only take 15 minutes to be digested and absorbed through small intestine. Please note, digested and distribute all this energy to your body cell or to your organ, it's actually done through the small intestine, the SI, small intestine, right? So the fruit juices only take 15 minutes. If you take the whole food or whole vegetable, not cooked, fresh one, raw one, you only take 30 minutes. But when you take carbohydrate, it takes as long as 2 hours to 4 hours. If you take protein, it takes as long as 5 hours to 7 hours. If you take oily food, it will take as long as 15 hours. So you even ask me, how long would it take for me to to get the food digested after the drink, I normally will encourage you for every meal, if you can, minimum 1 hour later, then only drink your drinks. Take your drinks. Drink your drinks 1 hour later, preferably 2 hours, because that it will take how long for them to go and get digested. We never encourage you drink water during the meal. Why? Because your stomach acid is released to digest the food. When you go and drink a lot of water, you're diluting your stomach. And then moreover, why so many people got lip crack? Listen carefully, Jeannie Tan. Why a lot of people now suffering from lip crack? For one simple reason. Not only they like to drink water during the food or during the meal, they also like to drink cold drink. Cold is killing your stomach. Please note, imagine this. Your stomach digests the food. When the stomach wants to digest food, you need to digest food at 37.7 Celsius. 37 Celsius to be round up. It need to be warm up to digest the food. Unfortunately, when I take cold drink, my temperature of my stomach dropped from 37 Celsius to 11 Celsius. And for this 11 Celsius to go back to 37 Celsius, it takes half an hour to recover. It's like from 11 Celsius to 37 Celsius, it takes half an hour. But imagine, there are two things happening inside your stomach. When your food are too oily, you know that you learn from science, any oil that touches onto the coal, they become solid. Right? They become solid. That's one. Secondly, your food are not fermenting. Your food are getting rotten because bacteria are now eating up. So 30 minutes, how much bacteria are being produced inside your stomach? 1 billion bacteria. So that's why if people suffering from lip crack or people suffering from weak stomach, simply because they did not eat right for their stomach. You need your stomach, remember, your stomach must be hot, 37 Celsius. Your stomach do not fill with too much of water. Let the stomach acid do the job. And then you make sure that you take a lot of probiotics or you take a lot of enzyme or even vinegar to be able to stimulate the release of enzyme to digest the food. Would that be okay? Now, Jeannie, I want you to listen carefully. Probiotic and enzyme. Enzyme means like vegetable juice or fruit juices, especially like lemon juice. These are all high in enzyme. Okay. I normally encourage everybody, if you can, please listen carefully. I normally encourage, if you can, after the food, after the meal, be it breakfast, lunch, or dinner, take a slice of papaya. I'm sorry, my mistake. Not papaya, pineapple. Pineapple. Take only pineapple. The only fruits allowed after your meal is pineapple. Prior to your food, prior to your meal is papaya. Before food, papaya. After food is actually pineapple. Take a lot of pineapple, especially when you have digestion problem. Take a lot of pineapple because pineapple have high enzyme to be able to stimulate the digestive system.
The papain.
Yes, papain, correct. Okay. Okay, Shereen, you asked about hyperthyroid and the bloatedness in your stomach, probiotics. Hyperthyroid fix your liver. Bloatedness is because of your, like I said, your stomach has too much of bacteria releasing gas, especially these are all bad bacteria. See, bacteria are very dangerous in the body. They are good bacteria and bad bacteria. But in general, most of the human beings on earth have more bad bacteria than the good bacteria. If you ever hear about me talking about probiotics, there are only 3 types of bacteria inside our body. 3 types. Good bacteria, bad bacteria, and the followers. If your bad bacteria outnumber the good bacteria, your follower become bad bacteria. I repeat, if your bad bacteria, very bad bacteria, outnumber the good bacteria, your follower will become a bad bacteria. What we do, why we say we have to take a lot of probiotics inside the body. You want the number of good bacteria outnumber the bad bacteria, then your follower become good bacteria. Then your bloatedness or your what they call the gassy stuff from the stomach can be suppressed and subside. Okay, hyperthyroid, please go and fix the liver. Liver get overclogged, cannot release the hormone, especially affecting the release of hormone for your thyroid. Okay, and it's also a sign. If you go and check out on your bone, right, they are leaching out a lot of calcium from the bone. Okay, hyperthyroid is simply because you are losing a lot of calcium from the bone. That's why your blood, the quality of blood are deteriorated. How about guava? Guava is very good, but guava with seed, not seedless. Guava is considered one of the best fruit in the. It's a closer alternative to durian. Very good, but make sure it's seed. With seed, not seedless. Guava is good because guava high content of mineral, high content of nutrients, very high fiber. We have many good about guava. Only exception that please make sure you get a guava with a lot of seeds. not without seed. Seedless can be genetic modified. Okay, take probiotics for how long? You have to take forever. Everybody needs to take probiotic every day because like I say, if you can, I'm typing here, go and research this microbiome. Yes, Pochi, if you can, don't take milk. Never take milk if you can. Right? Why? Very simple. Today's milk are no longer ordinary milk unless they're grass-fed milk, or this milk are not cooked, are not dead protein. Okay, if you don't understand what I'm saying, right, you go and do a lot of research about dairy food right nowadays. Look at all the world that produces most of the, using the livestock to produce the dairy food. They are the highest cancer patient in the world. What's the replacement for milk? Very simple, 5 grain, soya bean. Okay, de-skinned soya bean, of course, organic based. Please also understand, soya bean, 85% of the soya bean in the market are genetic modified, GMO, right, because they are meant for livestock. But unfortunately, people also sell to the human being for human consumption. So that's why better alternative is to go for 5 grain. They call it 5 grain of brown rice milk and so forth. You just have to go to organic shop and study them. There are many choices available. Many choices available. My daughter's name is QQ. She was practically never consumed milk at all. Practically none. Because we don't trust the milk at all. In fact, if you don't understand what I'm saying, right, I'm sure you heard about Penang Consumer Club. I'm not sure what they call it now. I think Consumer Association Penang. Consumer Association Penang. They call it CAP now, right? They have released many books sharing with the public, especially Malaysian. What they did actually, they researched all the brand conscious, the big brand in the market, about the potency, about what they claim, and eventually, one of the most popular brand, okay, I think it's actually, if I'm not advertised by this Michelle Yeoh. You know the brand? I don't know the brand. Sorry, I can't remember the brand. Okay, they claim, okay, by CAP, the Consumer of Association of Penang, they claim that particular brand is claim supposed to overcome osteoporosis, which never did. In fact, they actually will cause more osteoporosis. Okay, I just want to be clear, Jeannie, you have to grow, you have a guava grown. Yes, you grown your own guava, good, but it must come with a seed. Not that you don't have to take the seed. It's just that majority of the guava nowadays, right, are seedless. Don't take those guava. Don't take those seedless guava. The guava must be naturally come with seed. Of course, when you want to consume it, you don't have to take the seed. Just that you have to make sure there's a seed available inside the guava. You just have to remove the seed. Understood? The seed might hurt your teeth. Understand? That's why I'm saying that you have to go for the guava that grown with seed, but you can remove the seed away. Not the seedless guava. Pochi, are you okay? Replacement of the milk, go for 5 grain. Just go for organic. Because
yes,
you see,
thank you very much. Yeah.
Don't take milk, please. Okay, any other questions? Because it's really 16 past 10. Good that you can ask as much as you want. And really appreciate your time, because today is actually Deepavali. Really appreciate your effort and time.
Hello,
Serene,
Askia.
Yes.
Hello, Iski.
Yeah, please.
For this next meeting like this, can you make it at the daytime? Because at night, I sleep quite early.
Understand. That's right.
I see your explanation is very good and very clear.
Thank you.
And I learned a lot of things from you.
Right.
So that now I want to share with many of my friends.
Right.
So that they can come and listen to your this meeting.
Right.
But at this time is a bit late lah.
Yes, understood. I do agree.
Make it a Sunday afternoon, so that I can ask all my friends to come and listen.
Can you coordinate with Florence? Florence, if you don't mind, can you take her number?
Yeah. I know
please
her.
Coordinate.
Yeah.
Okay, we coordinate from there if you can.
Yeah, we will make it either Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Okay.
But I have to let everybody know, my schedule are always occupied. I give a lot of talks on practically every night, but I have to cut down a little bit. But I don't mind having some session in the daytime, no problem. Just that we have to work on schedule, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And really appreciate your feedback. Thank you very much. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, Jeannie, what is microbiome? Microbiome is actually like a family of bacteria in your entire body. It's a group of friendly bacteria and mixed with, we call it microflora, I mean, any kind. It's a term that's been used by a lot of scientists nowadays. Talk about what kind of bacteria we must have inside the body. Jeannie, okay? Microbiome. You got to study a bit about this microbiome. Yes, please make sure you leave your contact to Florence. Then she will connect with everybody if you don't mind.
SK, looks like I think we are going to make the meeting going to be quite regular, maybe at least once a month, and maybe we can create a chat group.
That's why please right? Liaise with Florence if you don't mind.
Because I think it is good that because we would like to help more and more people to be more aware about the food and the diseases today, how we can live disease-free these days. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I will share with everybody. Like I said, please leave your number with Florence. Florence will coordinate. So whatever request, if you're able to meet up the expectation, we'll do our very best to deliver.
Yeah.
Yes, pineapple is okay to take immediately after the meal. Only pineapple. The rest of fruits, no. Only pineapple. Yes. Be very clear about it. Pineapple is the only fruits to be taken after the meal.
What about banana? I heard one of the session you all mentioned about banana.
Okay, what about banana? Okay, for anyone any one of us who want to test whether I'm healthy or not, this is what Japanese did. Yep, actually, to be exact, this is what Japanese do. Okay, every morning they either take banana or they take pineapple. Either they take banana or they take pineapple. Why so? Because some people when they early morning they take banana, they feel stomach discomfort. Not the stomach ache, discomfort. It's a sign that your stomach is very weak. Same goes to pineapple. Okay, this is one of the diagnostic tests for all of you. If you want to test whether my stomach is okay or okay, go and take a banana or pineapple early in the morning with empty stomach. If you feel discomfort, okay, unfortunately, you need to take care of your stomach.
I see. Thank you.
Okay. Are we encouraged to take oranges? I would never encourage you to take any imported fruits from abroad. Take anything that locally grown. Why? Very simple, for a few reasons. Oranges, right? They are not locally grown, so energetically they are not compatible. It's good that you take better, you never take anything, but I would prefer you take anything that grown locally, like banana, pineapple, or even watermelon, and so on and so forth. Anything that grown locally, they will provide you better energy, give you more nutrients value, and so on and so on, as compared to oranges or even apple. Okay, I normally discourage, don't take anything that imported. Even you talk about honey, right? You see why I don't encourage you to take honey from abroad? For one simple reason. If you really understand honey are very high in enzyme. Because of high enzyme, that's why they don't dare to export out of the country. The only way for them to export out of the country is to cook them before they export it out. Imagine when you cook anything up to 37 Celsius, you are killing the enzyme. That's why don't buy anything that's imported from abroad. I give an example again, like Manuka honey. Is Manuka honey good? Damn good. But unfortunately, you cannot buy the imported Manuka honey. Why? They will do two things. They will have to cook the enzyme before they can export. Even though they will import into their respective country, let's say Malaysia, for example, they have to go through a scanning called gamma ray scan. Gamma ray is just like an incredible hawk. They become the blue color giant, simply because gamma ray kills all the genetic or even the DNA. So if you really want to import the Manuka honey, you make sure you fly to New Zealand, you hand carry and bring onto the plane, then you come to Malaysia. Then possibly you can still get appreciated on the Manuka honey. Okay, for they need your handphone number.
Yeah, I have typed in there already.
You just type again, you don't mind.
Yeah. Anyway, I just mentioned here also, voice over 012-201-2613.
Okay, Pochi, just want to remind you, after taking 5 tablespoons of your coconut oil, how long do you have to wait to take your food? Wait for at least 15 minutes, 15. But rest assured, if you're able to take 5 tablespoons and nothing happened, congratulations. But typically, after 5 tablespoons, within 15 minutes to 30 minutes, you'll be passing out. Passing out not to fake caffeine, it's like you're going to have diarrhea. That's what I mean. It's like you're having a pass motion.
Okay, any more questions from the floor?
Anyone? Otherwise, I really appreciate your time because it's been almost like 2 hours. Don't mind. I just thank you very much, everybody, for your participation, and really appreciate your positive feedback and constructive feedback. We will definitely look forward to be able to have more sessions like this with everybody for you to understand how to be healthy. And of course, my area don't just cover onto the health. I also cover on the brain and mind management. More about like this, for example, like sanitizer. How do we find the right sanitizer? So eventually, when I have such talk, I will invite all of you to take part. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Take 5 tablespoons daily for how many days? Okay. Once you're able to overcome with 5 tablespoons, eventually you just take 1 spoon a day. 1 spoon a day for maintenance. 5 days is to do purging. After that, you go for one spoon a day. Okay. The spoon can be soup spoon. It can be the Western big spoon will do. Okay.
Okay, folks. I believe that every one of you has benefited a lot from SK sharing tonight. As I always enjoy my session with him, I have learned a lot from him. Although I met him only got to know him about 3 months, and I have actually learned a lot from him. Yeah. So we will look forward for another session with SK. Okay, SK, thank you very much for your sharing tonight.
Lanchen, thank you. Okay, Ginny, last one is for purging for how many days? Keep on purging until it doesn't purge. That means that after consuming 5 tablespoons, 6 tablespoons, you don't purge anymore. Congratulations, your purging basically stopped. That means that your large intestinal toxin are being cleared. It's practically cleared. You just have to go back with 1 tablespoon for maintenance. Right? I can't give you a definite answer because some people can purge for days. Right? Continue purging until the day ends. But when it ends, I have no idea. So just do your very best. Okay. Of course, if you want to go for faster purging, I will encourage everybody, please drink a lot of water. Bring at least 5% according to your body weight. For example, like if you're 60 kg, 5% means it's 3 liters. You can't meet 5%, go for 3%. 3% means actually according, if your body is 60 kg, go with 1.8 liter as a minimum requirement. But that is called minimum. Ideally, go for 5% if you really want to push out as fast as you can. Okay, thank you very much. So if there's no further questions,
okay, we will be in touch, SK. Good
okay,
night,
sorry,
everyone.
Okay, sorry, if you can, don't take every day after dinner. You have to take in the empty stomach early morning. Empty stomach early morning. I'm referring to you, because you say I take every day after dinner. If I get it correctly, the VCO, take it early morning, not dinner.